Let us begin the event with Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிளமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
We are here to felicitate the veterans of the Income Tax Department as part of iconic week celebrations. May we now request our respected Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Shri Ravichandran sir, to felicitate our veterans with a memento, shawl and a sapling. Please sir.
Veteran officer of the Department of 1964 batch of IRS. He is famous for his contribution in creating infrastructure at Madurai, Tuticorin and Chennai. The Vanaparthi block attained its present shape during his tenure. Every subordinate fondly remembers his calm and passionate approach on every issue, be it administrative or taxation. This is Shri S. Babu, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax.
Now may I request Shri Krishnamurthy, ITO. Yes sir. Our respected CC sir will honor Shri Krishnamurthy, ITO. Sir has retired in the year 1988 as tax recovery officer. Sir has single-handedly dealt with TPC for all cadres when he was in vigilance section. He had rendered his sincere service in conducting the departmental examination.
Our respected CC will now honor Shri O. And we repeat. This is Shri O. Anantram, member ITAT, being honored by our CC Shri Ravichandran sir.
Sir is known for his calm and quiet disposition. Sir was heading the investigation wing in Kerala and Tamil Nadu for a long period of time, during which the performance in searches attained higher altitudes.
We have with us Srimati I. Saraswati. Next we have Srimati Saraswati, Administrative Officer. Madam joined the department in the year 1965 as LDC. In 1971, she got her UDC promotion. In 2001, she was elevated to the cadre of Administrative Officer. She retired from Tambaram office, a very sincere and dedicated officer. She had put in 41 years of service in our department. Srimati Saraswati, Administrative Officer.
Sir's contribution to the admin as DCIT admin, presently additional CIT admin, and thereafter as CCA has been immense. He is fondly remembered for the infrastructure he has created at Tirumala and Tirupati in the form of guest houses, comforts of which we still continue to
honor Shri A. Selvaraj, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax of 1972 batch. Sir is a great trainer of Income Tax Department. The trainees at NADT and training institutes have been immensely benefited because of his classes, which was a routine affair in all these institutes. He was the course coordinator at NADT as well. His performance as DIT exemptions is spoken even today. Shri A. Selvaraj, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax.
Coordination between the union and the administration was extraordinarily smooth during his tenure as head of ITEF and ITGOA because of his pragmatic approach.
Madhivanan OS.
D. Ravichandran sir, the untiring officer of the Income Tax Department, who is known for his integrity and dedication. The way sir handled the Indian Express case 4 decades back still continue to speak volumes about the way sensitive cases have to be handled. Sir is a trainer par excellence.
Very charismatic officer who had immensely contributed towards development of infrastructure in Chennai, Trichy and Pondicherry by creating the base work, the platform in which most of the tall buildings in the Income Tax Department stand at present. He was the one who sowed the seed for Sigaram.
Heroes of the IT department, who is liked by all. Sir is an ace investigator. Sir is the first principal CCIT of Tamil Nadu and has immensely contributed in implementation of the cadre restructuring of 2013. Tamil Nadu has been a pioneer in giving promotion to officers and because of Sir's sincere efforts. The officers
Resembling police officer added fervor. As we all know that recovery files have longer duration of life because of inherent litigation, and one can find his stamp and signature in most of the recovery cases of the past. Shri M.L. Perumal, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax.
Sir is another untiring officer of the department who has seen the culmination of all major infra projects at Chennai. At every sphere, he has made a mark, and his contribution in passing of orders in the cases of AP Beverages Corporation and Ansaldo are worthy of mentioning at this forum. As Vice Chairman of Settlement Commission, Sir's work was so perfect that not a single writ was ever filed against his orders under Section 245D4.
It's time to hear from the veterans who are our special guests today to share with us their journey with our
All the organizers for having given me a great opportunity like this to be the stalwarts of the department. And I have known almost all of the chief guests here. And I had a smooth sailing with almost all the chief commissioners, and whatever suggestions we have made from our organization have been acceded to by most of them and implemented it also. And Mr. T.S. Srinivasan has not come today, I think, because of his health reasons. When he was chairman, he was the person who implemented this tedious wing, and I had the pleasure of coordinating with him at that time, and I only suggested him because my journey started from Coimbatore. I've been finding that the TDS collected by these local authorities and most of the organizations were not deposited into the government account, but when they do not know what to do with that amount even. So I suggested him, sir, if you strengthen the TDS wing, you will get extension as chairman, sir. So one day there was one function here. Somebody was patting me on my back, and I turned and saw Mr. T.S. Srinivasan Safrullah. As you said, we have earned 40% more collections than last year, and I've been offered chairman, but I refused. So likewise, in audit also I spoke to Mr. Chandrahasan to retain the audit. Any organization, audit is absolutely necessary for the better functioning of the department or any organization. So that in this cadre restructuring, they were trying to do away with it by this continuous audit. After talking to him, he said, Zafrullah, we can keep only the special audits, but not the normal internal audit, etc. But anyhow, it will come back sometime later. So as he said, the company audit were going on, and this has been implemented in the cadre restructuring itself. And I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Thirumala Kumar as headquarters, and he told me that Zafrullah, he knows. So because in Tamil Nadu, we only reorganized everything at the officers staff level. At that time I remember one commissioner was given 158 or 56 officers and staff. On that basis, we got the officers, the commissioners in the department, who are the backbone of this department itself. So the collections, as our Chief Commissioner was telling, it has come leaps and bounds these days, but yet our department, I feel, is being neglected. So we will have to take up with the ministry. This negligence will cost the country itself, because any good nation will aspire to have direct taxes only more, but unfortunately or fortunately now the world is moving towards indirect taxation, and India is also depending on that. So we all know that how people are suffering because of the increase in the rates of indirect taxation. So I had the opportunity to get suggestion from Mr. Selvaraj, CCIT, when I was ITO, and I made one assessment which I may think that I may get about 14 lakhs reward that is pending with the department. But of course our Commissioner of Income Tax Administration is processing it, and I will get it early, I hope. So with all your cooperation, help, and this, we were able to do the maximum to the department, and also we have gained the maximum from the department also. This is the department where an inspector can retire as commissioner, and an LDC can retire as assistant commissioner, and the IRS, they can go up to the level of chairman. But of course it is only ex officio secretary, as somebody was telling here, and we need more secretary level posts. For that, our T.S. Krishnamurthy has gone as to the election commission, and after that many people have followed suit, and we will have to go on deputation to other departments, because income tax is a very important wing for any organization. So public undertakings, every organization will accept the income tax personnel as their officers, and that thereby they will streamline their taxation procedures also. So with this, I once again thank everybody for having given me a great opportunity like this, and I hope the department will shine leaps and bounds hereafter. Thank you very much.
Now, I request our retired beloved Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Sri S. Ravi sir, to share his experiences with us. Please, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be back, especially after 8 years. Today only I was just reminded that now 8 years away from the department, and nice to see very known faces, and also an opportunity to meet my bosses and pay my respects. What can one say? Retirement is a psychological thing. 2 months after my retirement, somebody who I encountered, he asked, "How is your health?" This is a question which we are frequented with. The other question is, how do you spend your time? So my reply is, it doesn't wait for me, it goes. I don't take any extra efforts to spend it. It comes and goes. That is how I look at the life. If you ask me what I am doing seriously in life after retirement, nothing. Summa irpade sugam. I am not advocating, but this is the philosophy I thought, suited to me. Well, when we were all in service, I think by the time I retired, we were struggling to cross 35,000 crore. Now, I think, I don't know, I forgot the figures. So, touching that 6 lakh, congratulations to everyone. Actually, sometimes we wonder how this all happens. I'm not trying to put down anybody, but when you look at it, I think the digitization has a lot of role to play there. We have not changed our methods much, but we are tracking the high value transactions, because earlier by default, we will not be able to correlate the entries and people used to get away. Now the high value transactions are collected, digitized, and is made easily available to the field authorities to implement. I think that is one thing which I think has contributed. Anyway, congratulations to everyone. Looking at the figure is even as a retired person, I feel very happy. What more? I think I should not take much time. Another thing, those who are in the fringe of retiring, I would say that as soon as you retire, join CGHS. You have to pay 60,000. I don't know what is the amount. That is the amount I paid when I retired. That gives you lifelong treatment, even though you may be in a area which is not covered by CGHS. But 60 is a crucial year. I have seen my personal life. It brings about some change physiologically. So take the insurance, take the CGHS, and getting medicines from the CGHS is a boon. So this is the advice I would like to give those who are on the fringe of retirement, and those who retire, enjoy like us. And one more suggestion, please call us more often. Nice to be back and interact with you. Thank you, and I immensely thank the Principal CCIT, Mr. Ravichandran, other CCITs and other officers and their staff.
In a dilemma before my bosses, from whom I learned the work, are all on the dais, and my beloved staff, in whose presence I had my last tenure, and their smiling faces are before me. I am much obliged to the administration, especially Mr. Ravichandran and Mr. Selvaraj, to have Selva Ganesh, to have organized this nice function today and allowed us to relive our memories of the past tenure. There's nothing much for me to state about my achievements, but however, what I learnt from the department and how the department has groomed me to be a nice living being, that is what I would like to state on. In this department, unlike other departments such as police, etc., you have no bossism. The bosses allow you to grow. They allow you to blossom, do your good work, and exhibit your talents. That is one of the excellent features of this department. Secondly, you get the posting what you deserve and the place of your choice. In the entire career, you can work in at least 3 or 4 states and also go on deputation and some foreign training and work in the investigation wing, show your talents. Such opportunities we can't get in every other department. These are the best features of this department. And you enjoy the diversity of the country when you work in different places. In fact, I had the privilege of working in my native place, that is Tirupati, for 3.5 years. When I got the posting, I was sad that I was going to do the PRO job. But later I found that was the nearest I could go to the TTD organization that serves the God. And almost all the pilgrimage centers of west of Andhra, such as Mantralayam, Nandyal, Sri Salem, Puttaparthi, Sri Kalahasti, all these pilgrimage centers were in my jurisdiction. So I was really blessed when I got the posting, though I initially thought that I was to work only as a PRO. So that is the privilege we have in this department. I worked in more than 8 cities, and that is the privilege I got. And the real support that you get from the staff is another remarkable feature of this department. If you want to be in the investigation wing, you get the best support, best infrastructure, facilities, coordination at all India level. These are all the features that we have. I am glad that I am able to attend this function, and I once again thank Mr. Ravichandran and the administration for giving me this nice opportunity. Thank you.
My seniors, friends, thank you very much for having invited me here. I joined the department, even though I am 78 batch. I came to Chennai at the fag end of 79. From 79 to 87, I worked in this office. I was coming in a bus. I was transferred to Bangalore. There also from 87 to 95, I was coming in a bus. In Chennai, everybody has taught us how to work well. We had Mr. Ravindran is 1 year senior to me. In those days, he was an icon. We heard that he has made some 30-40 assessments where more than 1 lakh additions were made, and therefore 144A, his boss has to give approval. He was taking his accounts of the assessee to his house, asking Mrs. Ravindran to total it and verify whether the totals are correct. We had Mr. Ramaswamy. He was working from 8 to 8 all the 7 days. Therefore, he was chief commissioner. I'm sorry, he was the first chief commissioner in Chennai. Therefore, this is the atmosphere where I was initiated. Therefore, I got a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration from all these my seniors. Mr. Bapu, who is sitting here, was my boss in the investigation wing for about 3 years. And Mr. Venugopal, who is sitting here, he is also my boss for 1 year. Therefore, the amount of work that we learned from them, it is simply, I don't know whether any of the others will have that this thing. But when I went to Bangalore, then to Hyderabad, I find work was secondary, their personal comfort was first. They were giving more importance for personal comfort. Most of them were coming in at least a scooter or Maruti 800, whereas we were coming in a bus. It really made me, why we cannot, and again, second thing, house. I was in some 200-300 square feet of house in Triplicate and in Indiranagar, Bangalore. And I was talking in the office crores. When you go back to the house, I was fighting with my wife at the month end for 100 rupees, 200 rupees. This was our life. This was our life. But after going to Hyderabad, I found the officers were very dynamic. They create infrastructure. Not only good houses, but also good office. I got lot of inspiration in Hyderabad that one should also live comfortably. Therefore, after that, in Hyderabad, I was also additional city headquarters for 2 years. How to get the work done? It is not simply writing a letter and waiting here. One has to go to Delhi, talk to that assistant, talk to the section officer, talk to the undersecretary, see that the file moves. This is the thing I learnt it in Hyderabad. Okay. All these things have shaped me as a chief commissioner for about 7 months, where I could do something, particularly the Sigaram or other reorganization of this thing and all. I could do that. Now, after retirement, I never thought I would practice income tax. I did my law while I was in Hyderabad. Fate or luck, I don't know, whatever it may be, it has made me to become an advocate and appear before. Sometimes I appear before the officers also. Sometimes I appear before the tribunal. Sometimes I go to High Court also. Sometimes I went to board also. I find, now therefore, I know you from the other side. I know you from the other side. I have a good, complete picture of not only this side, from the other side also. Therefore, I have become a complete man now, because I know both sides. Okay. Now, I find, when compared to our side, our time, this time, you have a lot of comforts, physical comforts. Whether you have a mental happiness. When I wrote assessment orders, it was going in my signature. Therefore, if it is good, people will appreciate me. Now you all become anonymous. Therefore, if somebody has done a good work, it is not recognized. Somebody has done bad work also, it is not recognized. I do not know whether this faceless assessment, in 144B, there are so many things are written, but when I see some of the assessment orders, nothing has been done. Some of the assessment orders. I'm sorry if you feel, any of you feel bad. Therefore, my only request is, particularly IRS officers who are at the senior level, be fair, be bold, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of taking decision. Be fair and be bold. You have all the powers to investigate. But while writing the order, you have to behave like a judge. This is the only thing I would like to tell you. Second, my personal life has been very, very difficult in the beginning. But because of the comforts or privileges given by the department, I'm very, very comfortable these days. I am really grateful to the income tax department because I am from some village. Somehow UPSC brought me and made me to sit here, and the income tax department has groomed me, and now I am staying in a house which is 6-bedroom house with this thing, air-conditioned room, whereas I was born in a hut, and I lived, even after IRS officer for about 15 years. I stayed in 200, 300 square feet house. Therefore, all these things are only because of the department. Till my department gives me diary, my department invites me like this and honors me, I am really grateful to my department. I will never compromise with my department, even if I am the other side. No. Therefore, I am really grateful to all these things, and I feel I am lucky, I am privileged that I was able to get into this department. And even now, most of the officers, 99% of the officers, they treat me royally well, and I am grateful to all of you. I am grateful to my seniors for having taught the work, and I am grateful to my colleagues and the seniors who have groomed me this thing. And thank you very much for having invited me. Just before clapping, I want to say one thing. I organized I was IRS Association Secretary in that building, and I organized a retired officers sort of evening. I gave them good food and asked them to speak. One of the officers were talking too much, taking a lot of time. One retired chairman, he was very sarcastic about anything, and he said, don't invite retired people, and even if they invite also, don't give them the mic. That's what he told me. I hope you don't feel like that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We now request Shri A. Selvaraj sir to please address the gathering.
Respected seniors and dear friends, I consider myself as one of the luckiest persons in this world. For one thing, I belonged to this department. I used to tell our probation, I used to occasionally go to the academy now and address the probationers. At that time, I normally tell them, if I am young and if I were given a chance to join some service, I would prefer income tax. Not IAS, not IPS, not anything. For one thing, the history is like this, my life history. I joined the department as UDC, then Director Recruit UDC, then Director Recruit Inspector, and then Director Recruit IRS Officer. I didn't appear for IAS, IPS or any other service. I appeared only for central services, first choice income tax. In the first attempt itself I got it, and I won a gold medal also in income tax law in the academy. The department had been very, very kind to me, as it is kind now, in inviting me and giving me this mic. Even though I am a retired person, they should be cautious, but they are not. So it is a very nice thing that we belong to this fraternity, and this organization had been very nice in nurturing us, in developing us, in giving us opportunities to serve the people, and we have done very well. But now, how this judiciary and other functionaries take time to render justice. In most of our appeals, when we were additional commissioner appeals or commissioner appeals, we had the hearing matter in the morning. That evening, that afternoon or the next day, we passed the order. If it is possible for an income tax official to decide a matter and pass an order within 1 day or 2 days, how is it not possible for those people, elevated and exalted beings, who claim demi-divine status? They are demigods. They claim that status, but they take years to decide matters which we were deciding in a matter of hours. So we were rendering justice to the society, to the country, which has put us in this place. So we were very happy, and we also made people happy. Our associates were generally very happy with us. So as a department, we are an ideal department, and it is in our hands and in the hands of the successors to keep that image, to keep up that status and do the best things for the country. I am very happy even now, and I will remain always happy that I belong to this department. So it is a very nice thing that the department has invited me and honored along with such a great gathering, and I feel very much elated and honored. So thank you very much, the organizers. I thank you.
In the beginning, there was a projection of the projection about the progress of the income tax department for so many years. Very good. It's not the work of a single individual or it's all the collective efforts of all the officers and all the staff. So we have to first thank everyone. You remember when I was in Bombay, I remember the total collection of India was only 4,000 crores. That was in the year 1972. Of which 1,000 crores came only from Bombay city. What is the total collection of all India? 14 lakh crores. Imagine 4,000 crores in 72. After 60 or 50 years, it is not 60 years. I'm sorry, 50 years. It's 40 lakh crores. It has progressed so much. So it's wonderful. Secondly, those days there were no facilities. AD, when I was in ADA here, that was in the year 75, 76, etc. We had 5 of us had only one car, and no officer has got a car. The commissioners, only one commissioner. That is, there was no CC. Only CC1 had a car, or probably CC Central had a car. That's all. And in the intelligence wing, we had 2 cars. One for Sarkaria Commission and other for ours. Listen, Mr. Venugopal, remember. So 10 officers used to share one car, and we used to hire taxis. Some go by walk, go by auto rickshaw for survey, everything. All those things are all gone nowadays. So many facilities, the increase in salary, the increase in grades, the increase in facilities. Everyone has got a computer, air conditioned room, mobile phones. Everything has come. We should thank the government of India for all that, and we should thank our senior officers at Delhi who had got all these things. I mean, so many people, not one or two, and so many officers and staff, everyone. Finally, I was just, thinking of, in a high court judgment, in a division bench or whatever it is, they always write, one man will take the trouble of writing a 10-page judgment or order, and the other judge will say only one line, I agree, sign, finished, the job is over. Like that, I say, I agree with all the statements which all other colleagues make, and which is going to be made, both. I agree right now. Okay, and I am also I am voiced by Mr. Sennamarikandan's statement. Don't give the mic to a retired officer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now request Shri V. Venugopal, sir, to please address the gathering.
My respected seniors, Mr. Bapu and Mr. Anandaram, you hear? Audible? And all my colleagues on the dais, and all the Sir Ravichandran and all the others, all the others present here. First of all, thank you very much all for inviting all of us, not only including me, every one of us, to this function. It's been very well organized, and we are very happy to be present here. Now, I remember when I joined the department way back in 1968, we went to the NACPO for training. Our director, the first thing he told us was in a meeting, you'll all be lucky if you retire as assistant commissioners. Very few people will progress, so maximum you can think of is becoming an assistant commissioner, that's all. So we thought, finished. Why should we write, why have you joined here? But things have, and at that time, if I remember right, our all India budget was somewhere around 200 or something crores. 200 at that time. From there, of course, we have progressed so much. now we are talking in terms of billions. So it's definitely the effort put in by every one of us. I mean, my predecessors, my successors, all of you here, everyone has contributed tremendously to this effort. There's no doubt about that. And also from the facilities which we had, Mr. Ravichandran was mentioning, because I mean, he was said I had a car, an old Fiat, second-hand Fiat, and I remember taking my car for raids. And once when we went for a raid, somewhere in the town area, I parked the car. So the shopkeeper there was objecting. He said, nothing doing. We parked the car and went. Night 12 o'clock, we collected all the seized material. We came back. These fellows had let out the air in the tires. So we didn't know what to do. It was with such a great difficulty we brought the materials and the car back. And also every time and you're supposed to open it only when you reach the destination. So along with that, they used to give a cover containing some few rupees. Yes. And then say go outside. And those days, taxis used to be parked outside our building, main building. We were sitting in this old Vanapati Palace. This is the come after demolition of that. So we used to take that, go and catch a taxi and go to our destination. That's how we used to conduct it. And there was only one car. There was no CCs there. There was only CIT 1, CIT 2 and CIT Central at that time here. And there was only one car. So the CITs also used to come in their own cars. It was never used for personal thing, only for official purposes. But traveling from the residence to office was not considered as official. That was the position. So we never got to get any cars, which came much later. And from there, and then we never had any air conditioners. Even at the level of senior, presently you call additional commissioners. At that time it used to be called assistant commissioners only. No thing. Only when you became a commissioner, you were entitled to an air-conditioned room at that time. That is how. And we used to think, okay, we are just waiting to when I was DDI. Mr. Bapu was my predecessor there. He was my boss also. And so at that time, the room which we occupied in the annex building was maybe 10 by 10, the DDSI. In the month of May, it used to be so hot. We'll be just looking, when our DI used to call us, we'd be very happy to go into that room just to sit inside the air-conditioned room. It was that way. From there, where you have progressed so much, I think now every officer is eligible for an air-conditioned room. I don't know whether even the staff, everyone is centrally air-conditioned. So the comforts which you are now getting. So Income Tax Department has progressed so much. So you should all consider yourself very lucky to be part of this department. And you should all contribute your might to the development of the department even more and more. So I hope you will all, I wish you all a great future, great career ahead of you, and all the best to all of you. Thank you once again for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Sri O. Anantram sir to address the gathering.
For inviting us here. One thing in life, whatever position we hold, is to have a sense of humor. Even as a tax official, you can have a sense of humor to convey a point. Sometimes assessors will come, they will say something. And usually, as usual, sir, do you have any supporting evidence? The person will look at me and say, sir, you can believe me. I will smile and tell, sir, I want to believe you. I want to believe not only you, I want to believe everybody. I am looking forward for a situation when all the police stations and all the courts in this country are wound up and we have a sense of Ramarajya. So they used to smile and understand what exactly is wanted, and they will say, all right, I will get the information. And second thing is, whenever an order is passed, in the order, it is better to make a factual statement. Suppose we write in the order that is a very cantankerous assessee, or he has falsified accounts, all these things, you know. When a person goes on appeal, he can point out to those things and say the person is prejudiced. See, even in the case of highest court, sometimes what happens is the judges get into a mood of writing an essay, and when an essay is written in a judgment without just the facts, it creates a lot of publicity. I may mention in the Shabana case, Justice Y.V. Chandrachud, he has written a lot of comments about personal laws. Instead, he has simply told the maintenance is payable to the divorced wife. It would have been silent, nobody would have noticed it. So, it is better not to frame the orders in such a way that gives any room for a complaint that a person is prejudiced. And lastly, I will categorize the assessees into 6 categories. One is the divine, the person who has got a divine approach. He will come and say, here is Tirupati Prasadam, I have conducted prayers for you. Then another person will come and say, I have been in Delhi yesterday, and then you have got crying approach and sobbing approach also. Some persons, even before they enter room, even from the lift, they will start sobbing, or they start, when they come to the room, first thing is, you have to somehow ensure that they stop sobbing. And then you have the business approach. Some of them will nicely say, sir, money is no problem. Some of them are more say, sir, whatever you want, we will try to do. Then last is the professional approach, where a person says, these are the facts of the case. If you want any further information, I will provide it to you. Now, we have to be very, very careful about these 5 categories of approach, and be ensure that we are professional in our approach without losing our temper, and also without not having a sense of humor. You can always have a sense of humor, whatever occupations we are doing. After all, a smiling and a bit of laughter does not decrease the value of our work. There is no need to put a serious face always. And the department has got excellent relationships with all, and I have been made bakra by the department sometimes. I was asked to go and address meetings of chambers of tax, chambers of industry and commerce, salaried assessees, etc. Invariably, one question which crops up is, somebody will get up and say, what about the corruption in the income tax department? I will smile and say, sir, income tax department is not an island by itself. Income tax department is part of a society. If the society is good, income tax department will be good. And how does corruption start? A person makes an offer and you try to tempt the other person to get what you want to get done. Now, are you not a party to the crime? So, be honest and try to do whatever you have to do, and don't try to, bring down the morality of another person and then corrupt. And last thing is, so long as we are holding a post, there is nothing wrong in trying to be helpful to others without going out of the way. Suppose some neighbor wants a college seat, or somebody wants a plot, something like that. There is nothing wrong in helping. So because a lot of things in the government, there is a discretionary quota. As the Raja has got his own gifts, there is a discretionary quota. And sometimes if you can help a neighbor, he will remember, and you also have a sense of satisfaction that you have been helpful to somebody else. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope all of us will have a nice time and do our duty sincerely, but also at the same time with smiling and humor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
My former colleagues, I am very happy to be part of this gathering. Got up to sort of honor or felicitate retired personnel right from the AO's cadre to the principal chief commissioner's cadre. Of course, I retired one step below that one as Chief Commissioner. See, those days, when I joined the department, I joined in the 18th batch. You will find in the ASB of 2022 our batch photo at page 37. Right from the first batch it is there, a few batches. One of our batches, 18th batch also is there. Of course, along in our batch, some 3 or 4 probationers of the earlier batch, lady members have come by inadvertence or whatever it is there. So that is the only thing you have to make an exception. Why I say all these things, this function has been got up for the Amrit Mahotsav, 75th year of Azadi, freedom. Now 75th batch of probationers must have joined in 2021. So they should be congratulated first. I don't know where any of you are belonging to that 75th batch. Now I will not dwell at length about what you do, whatever work methods, procedures and all those things. All of you are familiar. And times have changed. The time when I joined the income tax department, the procedure was totally different. That is, everything we have to gather by sending the inspectors outside. Some slips will be written. They have to be kept on the file. And then we have to call the assessee, scrutinize, verify, make assessment and all those things. Now that's all gone. Everything is at your desktop at the flip of a button. Sometimes coming, sometimes not coming, of course. You have problems, I know. Because I am still having a pulse with the department through some sources. Not against you, but I still consider to be part of the department. I will come to that later. So there is no point in talking about the old procedures. Now it is actually faceless also. So unlike my friends stating Anandaram, I will not say smile, sobbing, nothing is there. I can sob as an assessee, but it will not happen with you. I can try to bribe, that also is not possible, though they say that some methods are there even now. I'm very sorry. This is only I want to highlight in this background. See, this is one department which I still hold, I advocate in whatever meeting I do, that is in private meetings or in big gatherings, whatever it is there, on all occasions. The income tax department is one of the greatest teachers in this world. When you function in this department, in whatever capacity you are, whether as an assessing officer or even a lawyer cadre, as a tax assistant or inspector or ITO or AC, joint commissioner, chief commissioner, principal chief commissioner, whatever it is there, whatever be the rank you hold, you must have worked in various capacities, many of us. This is the greatest teacher on this planet. I don't think any other department will be able to teach so much, because I always feel from this department I have learned a lot, not only about income tax laws and other things, but about the human behavior. What happens in society, what happens in families over property disputes, among relatives, all those things you learn only from this department. And I keep advising people, because of this experience I have learned. Whenever they ask, I said, be careful. Don't part away with all your properties, even among your sons and daughters, till you breathe your last. You leave it them only after your life. Don't give it and stand in the road. I have seen very big persons, a retired commander, a big railway officer, like Anandaram said, crying, saying that they have left everything, they are in the lurch. Even when I was commissioner in Madurai, a small coolie came with a gift tax order by one of my colleagues. See, he has estimated, he has given out of compulsion a small piece of 4 cents of land which she had. She did not know that there will be gift tax and all those things. Nobody told her. Our officer took an extract from the registering officer, punished her with a gift tax order, estimating the value, levying penalty and all those things. Somebody had told to put a petition. Somebody came. When I was commissioner, somebody gave a slip. I thought, who has come? Why have you come? Then she was showing me a slip. Then I gathered from the officer and all those things. Of course, I gave relief, the usual style. So that sort of thing I still make use of for telling people, be cautious. Don't do anything out of your enthusiasm, out of your love for your children. Yes, you may love your children, but don't give away everything. Give only after that. Don't believe anybody. Do all those things. That is one of the greatest lessons, personal lessons which this department taught. Similarly, on all other laws, any law you take, personal law, income tax law, GST law, everything, anything will come out of this department. That is one teacher, greatest teacher. The second thing is, yes, like any other, let us say, walk of life, community, department, society, anywhere, there will be bad people, there will be good people. You can't always have 100% good people, always 100% bad people. But this is one of the departments which is more sinned against than sinning, like King Lear. See, there may be a few bad guys, there may be some irregularities, something, either on their own or by force of circumstances or something to this department. See, people will say, when I joined the department, some people will say, look, what is this salary? I want to resign and go. I said, if you say that, you will not resign. You will, even after retirement, you will try to be on the desk. But that is true. Those who wanted to go, they never told. They left in the middle, they got some other jobs, very few of them. Some of them flourished, some of them did not flourish. They regretted their having left the department. Yes, I left 1 year ahead of my retirement, but I went to CAT. Not that I did not go home. So be always proud of the job. Stand erect, hold your head high. Do your job properly. See, there may be certain things, your recommendations may not be accepted by somebody. They may not say, what is all this, you may say, but don't bother. Give your suggestions, whatever you feel you are satisfied with, give those suggestions to the government. It is for them to accept or reject or implement today or tomorrow or in future. So that is what I will always share with you. Be proud of your job, be pleasant. Don't ever be growling, saying that I am not doing anything. I belong to a wrong department and all those things. No other department can be as good as this income tax department. That's all I want to say. Thank you. One last thing I want to say before that. I am so passionate about this department for one reason, which came later. See, you all celebrate which day as the birth of this department? 24th July. My date of birth is that.
To come all the way here to be with us today. But the word, I think we have so many complaints and we have so many things and we start bickering and we start fighting among ourselves. But at the end of the day, I think the pride that with which that our officers have, even after they left so many years, I think I don't want to talk about much on the comparison, because very difficult for us to have pride about anything else, even with our own family or children. We may have situations sometimes, what you felt proud at some point of time may turn against you, because you may have some regrets at some point of time with your family members and friends and everyone. But invariably, I can tell you, every veteran I met, I think very long years, because my NADT experience gave me a chance to meet with this Retreat 50 program organized at NADT. So 50 years, that after they enter the service, they come, most of them are in their 75, 80 plus. When you talk to them, they so passionately talk about the department. They say the department has given so much to me. More than the sons and daughters. Anybody else could feel that. I think that is what something I fondly recollect. And sir, thank you very much, sir. I don't want to talk much about all this, but thank you for being with us today. Thank you for sharing your experience and words of wisdom with us. Sir, this 75 years of freedom, that celebration has been going on for long. I think as a part of the celebration that that we had an opportunity to invite you and spend some time with us. And in fact, the more than the 75 years of the growth the department has seen, the last 15 years that whatever we have seen, the growth has been tremendous and phenomenal. When you are talking about the department, taught so many things. I think we are in the forefront in all the areas, whether it is a technology, Even very advanced countries like US doesn't have the kind of a system that we have, whether it is with regard to e-filing or refunds or the way that we handle the cases with the risk management system. So we have one of the most advanced systems of technology that is being implemented in the government department, and that has been successfully done. Because of the ambition that, whatever I call it as the over ambition that led to kind of technical glitches that we faced recently, once this system smoothens out, this is going to be the best system that anybody can think of in the world with regard to administration of the taxes. And I can tell you, sir, that we have very competent and able people, that at least whatever I have seen at the academy, the kind of competence that the officers bring in nowadays, young officers, are something that I'm very proud of. I think the department is in the safe hands. I think their contribution is also very, very kind of significant. If you look at the officers of these years, maybe the profile is changing, maybe the ecosystem is changing. Like someone was mentioning about faceless, how do we know? Sir, here everybody knows what you do, because we have a system of reward and punishment in the faceless also. If there is an eye-pitched assessment, we have a committee which officer has done, so that officer will be kind of told about that why he did it. If there is a very good order that is passed by an officer in the faceless, that officer also gets rewarded in the faceless. It is not that the faceless mean that we are not recognizing the contribution made by the officer. So things are evolving in a way that one of the officers told me in Delhi that that faceless system at particular time when I'm looking at some issue like maybe any section 37, whatever it is that you're looking at what to do with that. In that system, at that point of time, if there are 3 lakh assessments are going on there, in that there are 50,000 cases which we have access to tremendous amount of information which the younger generation is able to sift through and make a well-informed decision. So I'm sure, sir, I think the technological changes are bringing a lot of benefits to the department, and also that I think that we have competent officers and staff. And even if you look at it at the level of MTS selection, I think that we have people who have done masters and PhDs who are entering as a MTS. I think at the clerical level and as well as at the support system level also, we have highly educated and competent people who are there at the helm of affairs in the department. I'm sure that we have a great future, and thanks for sharing your wisdom with us, and we would like to kind of update you on whatever that is happening with the department with the frequent interaction. I also would like to make a small suggestion, sir. We are bringing kind of a coffee table book about remembering this 75 years, specifically from Tamilnadu, Puducherry. So we would like to have, if you kind of information, if you have any photographs or any kind of anecdotal experiences that you would like to share. Ravichandran has taken up the task there, and we would be happy to kind of, we have given you this mobile number and email where you can kind of share this with us, so that would be useful. In fact, we would like to kind of remember the history, remember the past, and then kind of document it, so that I think we can cherish those past memories of who has done what, and that will also be a guidance for the future. Second thing, sir, that I thought maybe I will tell you is that I think probably it must be already done, but we have the facilities in the department which are there. We would like to have more veterans meeting whenever you have a get together of your own batch, or maybe the place, or whatever the kind of a grouping that we have. We would like to have it in our own campus, that where we will be able to kind of interact with you, and we will also able to provide all the support systems that are available in the department for this. So we would like to have more kind of an interaction at the personal level whenever we get an opportunity, and we would be happy to host you, and we would be happy to provide all the support system that we have at our disposal. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Ma'am Geeta Ravichandran for quite some time has been telling that we must organize such a program, but unfortunately ma'am is not here. She is in Mumbai. So this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav gave us an opportunity. Then immediately we latched on to it, thanks to our CC Sri Ravichandran sir. So initially it started as a small thing. Then in the last 2-3 days only we could organize this program, and of course it's a great opportunity for me to to personally extend thanks to 2 of my first teachers, Selvaraj sir and Ravindran sir in NADT. I don't know whether I, Mr. Selva Ganesh, Ravi, we are worthy of this thing, but you have been great teachers. we may not be a great students, but like you have been, teachers, outstanding teachers that we will not forget till we breathe. That is like I'm making a very bold statement on behalf of all the officers trained by you, like all those batches. And when we came to the field, and we had veterans, Papa Sir was he hails from Madurai, and then Sir was CC Chennai, and then we had the great opportunity of listening to his wisdom, especially VDIS 97, the clarity of thought with which you could, and the command with which he could convince the people there. That was an eye-opener for a first-year fellow like me. Even now I don't know income tax, so then also I didn't know much. So, but the clarity with which he explained, with the kind of lucidity, the lucid way, so that is a great occasion for that. We used to learn, that is, I can't explain. It had to be experienced. Most of you didn't have the experience, but we were the minority of that fortunate people who had the experience of having that. Then in my personal short experience are Ravi sir. So he was our boss at a different level, yes, Ravi sir. So the sense of humor that he displays along with the courage of conviction, it is worth mentioning. And though I didn't have the occasion to directly work under Chandamarakannan sir, Jayashankar sir, every bit of interaction that I've heard, I have kind of been enriched and thankful for all those opportunities, sir. As my CC was telling, the common thread amongst the galaxies that, as Michelangelo says, that it is only well when I have chisel in my hand. So that is a kind of the attitude that they have displayed towards the service, towards the department, towards the society at large. So that way, thank you so much for all that you have done. And for in the presentation we mentioned, we have traveled this far. That is mainly because of the launch pad that you have given to us, and we are standing and we are seeing farther. We are standing on the shoulders of giants, and thank you for being such giants. Thank you.